Success shouldn't feel this exhausting. If you're winning on paper, but burning out behind the scenes, you aren't failing. You're stuck in a psychological bottleneck called a hurdle of stop. I've been there. On the outside, things look great, but I was secretly burning out, convinced I was just lucky, and waiting to be exposed as a fraud. I realized I didn't have a business problem. I had a mindset block. Whether it's imposter syndrome, perfectionism, or fear or failure, these aren't just feelings. They are growth bottlenecks. Identify your specific hurdle and get one immediate action step to regain your momentum today. Go to tuepodcast.net/quiz. That's tuepodcast.net/quiz to take the 3-minute assessment and get your report now. Salutations, School Believer. Do you have a dream of becoming an entrepreneur, but don't know where to start or even what to do? Where can I gather information quickly about what's in my zone of genius? Don't worry, School Believers. I got you covered. Go to tuepodcast.net/AI prompt and check out an amazing set of AI prompts that will give you ideas, information, and articles to help you get across that start line. Once again, go to tuepodcast.net/AI prompt to get you started now. Good luck, School Believer. Welcome to The Undiscovered Entrepreneur, the podcast where brand new entrepreneurs come to life and could quite possibly be discovered. Join me, DJ Scoob, and the rest of the Scoob Believers as we help these new businesses become a reality. And now, away we go! We now join DJ Scoob with the next coaching of Deborah Nute, owner of Leap Life Coaching, already in progress. Tell me, over the last month, what's happened? I mean, what have you been doing? You got the questionnaire out, which is amazing, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit. What else is going on?
All right. Let me just think, because there's just so much going on. I was actually really proud of myself for getting the questionnaire out. I think I said to you the previous time that I was like, I don't know if it's a good idea, this, that, and the other thing. But you really encouraged me to do it. So I don't think I would have done it had I not felt accountable to you and whatnot to do it. So I did, and I did it quite a while ago. And to be honest, I was looking for your feedback on the structure. And I almost teared up when you filled it in. I was like, God, that thank you so much for engaging with me and using my product. And we can talk about it a little bit, but that was one thing that I was really happy I did. And it just made me envision like a whole portfolio of tools and content that I can make available to my coaching clients. So there was that. Mm-hmm. I did have those few surgeries, but I've posted 2 Instagram posts that automatically get posted to Facebook with some insights from a coaching perspective. So all of this is 100% in my opinion, me trying to get coaching clients. Mm-hmm. And I had some really positive feedback.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And I had 3 2 very old friends from Canada. Like I'm talking, I haven't spoken to them in 30 years, mm-hmm. reach out to me and say, thank you so much for being vulnerable and for sharing. And then another, a woman that I know, she's American, but she lives in Greece. I hadn't spoken to her in at least 10 years. She also reached out, and 2 of them listened to the episode that we did together. The one cool. where you're coaching me.
Yeah.
Yes. And they were like, just thank you so much for sharing your story. And one even apologized. She's like, Deb, I knew you back then. I had no idea you were depressed or going through any of that. And I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, it's fine. So that was something beautiful that came out of that. And, I really believe in word of mouth. I've told you so many times that when I was teaching yoga, I didn't do anything. I found my first group of elderly ladies and it just started snowballing. So even though none of these women have approached me for coaching, I think that they might talk to people and it might spread sort of that way. So I've decided that I want to do one post like that per week. I didn't this weekend. I should have, and I just don't think I'm going to have a chance to today, but I'll have it in my mind to do it like tomorrow or something like that. So that was another thing. The third thing, I think I had done the photo shoot when we spoke last.
Right.
Okay. So I did the photo shoot. I'm not 100% happy with the photos, but okay, for a first time around, I think it was okay. So the two posts that I mentioned, I used two of those photos, even though they weren't edited yet. And I just got the final edit yesterday. Mm-hmm. I haven't even had a chance to open the folder, so I'm going to look at that. But that's a step toward building my coaching career, mm-hmm. but it is also a huge step for me personally, like getting outside of my comfort zone. And what your previous call, your clients said about, what will people think? That is just such a limiting thought and something that I still struggle with. So I'm feeling like the more uncomfortable I feel, the more I know I should do it.
Yeah, you're right? Learning.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly. I still have that Canadian coaching client that I told you about.
Oh, good.
I ditched the Indian guy. I think I told you that. I very clearly told him that, no, my rate is this. If you want to coach, if you want to send me a text, that's my rate. And he hasn't texted me since, so that's okay. And with my coaching client, it's a really interesting exercise in running a business. We can get into that more. I'm sort of telling you like a sort of a top level list of what I've been doing. So I'll tell you a little bit about him. I've still got him. And then something that absolutely has blown my mind. Remember when I told you last time that I just had this crazy flash to possibly look into a modeling career as a 50 plus model?
Yes, I remember that very well.
Yeah. Which was absolutely just like a cosmic download. Like there was no rhyme or reason to me having that thought. So thank you, God, and thank me for having the clarity of mind to be able to receive that kind of a message. Mm-hmm. So I didn't do it the day that I was telling you I wanted to do it. And then with my surgeries, I was like, oh, typical Deb, she had this great idea and didn't pounce on it. So sorry. And then just this Friday, even though I've got my foot's bandaged, my nose is still stuffed up, I'm super busy. I was like, no, I'm going to do it right now.
There you go.
And yeah, I used some of the pictures from the photo shoot and I took a few selfies and I sat down all Friday morning and I sent to various agencies pictures, or I filled in their online form, become a model, this, that, and the other thing. I must have reached out to, let's say 6 or 7 agencies. And I'm thinking, it's Friday, I'm not going to hear anything. I'm probably not going to hear anything anyway, but it's out there in the cosmos now and the universe can decide what they want to do with that information. Mm-hmm. So I just today, today, I realized that I missed an email on Friday from one of the Greek coaching modeling agencies, a woman, asking me for another selfie, but no makeup, looking into the camera and all that stuff. I just saw that today, so I jumped on that and I sent that back to her, which kind of blew my mind. It's like, that means they must be kind of interested if they're asking me for further information. And then just an hour ago, I got another email from another modeling portal, let's say. Mm-hmm. It's a European one, it's not a Greek one. And they said that my application has been accepted, that I'm very suitable, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. And that I have to call them at certain times, whatever, this week to sort of see what the next steps are. So I'm like, I'm not getting ahead of myself, but I'm like, you've got to be effing joking me. Like insane, and so outside my comfort zone, and so exciting if I can make some extra income, and so in line with empowering women, which is, it all ties in together, coaching to empower people, modeling to empower 50 plus women, life doesn't end at 29 kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because
sure.
You don't know that, like, unless you're 50, I just read about, I follow Jane Fonda on Instagram, and she might even be in her 80s, but anyway, very late 70s, maybe early 80s. And she said, to paraphrase, something like, I was terrified of old age until I got here. And something like that. Like, and the way it is, it's like, how did you used to think about 50-some-year-olds? It's like, 50, 1 foot in the grave kind of thing.
Over the hill.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. It. Whatever they did. Yeah. So I think that's sort of all I can, those sort of like 5 things are all I can come up with right now.
Okay.
Yes, just changing my language. I am a life coach, I'm trying to be, I want to be. Yeah. It's a simple thing. Sorry, I still have menopause.
That's okay.
I know all about, since you're a keen listener.
Yes.
And something else I do, I don't think it's a conflict of interest. No, I don't think so. When Chris and I follow like another podcast on Instagram, I also follow them as myself, as Deborah Nute, because I want, like, that's a whole other network where somebody might see my page and sort of know my work on the podcast, but also be like, oh, she's also a life coach. Like, I've got this issue, I've got this sister, you just never know. I just want to have my feelers out everywhere. That's it. I mean, each of those I can go into more detail, but I want to let you ask any questions or whatever, that might have come up.
All right. So before I get into that, I want to see what's on your mind now for the next month. What do you have planned for yourself in the next month? I mean, what kind of goals are you trying to achieve?
That's a good question, because I really don't think I've set any concrete goals. I think here's the thing. I just firmly believe that if I just keep putting stuff out there, it's going to come. Like, I got my first client without doing anything really, like just sort of posting and sort of connecting with him. So, but anyway, I know I need to have specific goals. I know that as a coach, I know that. So 2 things that come to mind briefly. Well, firstly, I'm going to continue my posting using my pictures that are hopefully edited well. The other thing I was thinking, I was looking forward to receiving your feedback on the questionnaire to see if you thought I needed to. First, I want to fill in the questionnaire myself, because that's very key. I also want to give it to a friend to fill in. I appreciate so much that you filled it in.
Sure.
So one, if unless there's anything you think I should change or anything I decided I should change, I was thinking of posting that I have this self-assessment that I've come up with. And if anybody's interested in doing it, DM me. I'm not going to post it online. Obviously, it's confidential. I don't want it to be out there. I want people to have to contact me to get it. And I haven't really thought it through, but I don't know. I hope somebody would ask for it. Somehow I don't want to give away freebies. I really don't. But I was thinking of somehow, like, maybe anybody who fills it in, like doing sort of a 30-minute, which isn't very much time, brief assessment of the questionnaire, and then them having to decide if they want to continue with me or not. Okay. So that was
Okay.
one thing.
Mhm.
Always in the back of my mind, I've got my website that I want to work on. Yeah, it just needs time and stuff like that. So I guess the answer to your question is that no, I haven't set new specific goals for May.
Okay. That's okay. So what we're
Yeah.
going to do here is we're going to make some for you.
Okay.
Okay. So ultimately, by the end of the conversation here today, we're going to have a few goals for you to hit for the next month. Okay.
All right. Perfect.
So what I'm going to talk to you about first is actually, I know this is kind of out of order that I usually do this, but it's really important to me that I talk to you about your questionnaire.
Okay.
Okay. Because this is the one thing that you're really predicating everything around.
Yeah.
So first of all, I love the questionnaire. You ask some very good questions. They're very sourced, and you give people a chance to be able to measure how much of whatever question is you answered to, and it gives them some time to self-reflect on what's actually happening in their life. I like that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So the only couple things that I would change if I were, and this is just my opinion, of course, is expectation of time. It's kind of a long questionnaire.
Oh, it is. It is.
So
Okay.
if you set an expectation of how much time it's going to take to be able to fill out the questionnaire, people are more apt to put time aside to be able to do it thoroughly. So I understand you say in your questionnaire a quiet place where you can, that kind of thing and that's good. But I think in that same line, you should say, give yourself X amount of time to do the test.
Fantastic feedback. How long did it take you to fill it out?
It took me about 15 minutes.
Okay, so I can say between, let's say, 15 to 30 minutes.
Yes.
Or something.
Yeah. That way it gives them a time frame to set aside to sit down and actually fully concentrate on just the test. If they're trying to take the test where the kids are around all over the place, this is all the time they've set aside. Oh, I better hurry up and take this test. I feel even though you're saying do this in a quiet place, if you really set yourself in the place of the person that's taking it, unless you set these expectations of how to take the test, they're not going to be able to fully concentrate on the test. So if you give them a time frame to give them that expectation to be able to take the test in a quiet area and give themselves at least 15 to 30 minutes of being able to do it, they'll do it.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Okay. So the other thing I noticed too is you have right underneath that, you have your singing and then you have your breakdown of what each letter means, right? On the sides. I would actually change that to a cross instead of down, because when you have it down like this, you have so much open space in that area. It seems kind of naked.
So wait a second. Well, you mean like becoming me? Yeah. Are you going to show, do it for me? Okay. Visualize it for me.
So instead of becoming me sideways, have it B and then what B stands for, then E, then what E stands for, going down like this, because that'll fill in a lot of that empty space.
Okay. Do you think though that with the letters going down vertically, the words will be sort of legible?
If you give them enough space between letters, it'll be legible.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So vertical, horizontal. Anyway, I think I understand. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
So that'll visually look a little bit better, I think.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
And the last thing that I have written down here for you is at the very end, it stops. There's no questions or nothing. There's nothing after that.
Okay.
So I would actually, at the end of that, thank you for taking my test. If you have more information, if you have, that's where you put your contact information, because after they're taking the test, if they want to know more about what you do, that's where you want to put your pitch, and it's after the test is over. So thank you for taking the test. I will be reaching out to you, or whatever your next expectation is for the next step. They want to know what that next step is. If you don't have that next step, they're going to be lost.
You're absolutely right. And something I'm also thinking, I think it occurred to me at some point, but then I forgot about it, is that I also want them to feel like, I think it requires a certain amount of vulnerability, the assessment.
Yeah.
I want them to know that they're in a safe space and they're held by me. So you're absolutely right that I need to, like, I think I've done a pretty good job with the introduction, but you're right. I need to bookend that and be like, I'm sort of, I'll word it appropriately, but I'm here for you and thank you and I appreciate you. And you're absolutely right about that. And before I forget, something that I thought of, I was wondering, I'm not sure, this is actually, I want to talk about this with you. If particularly the part about sex, I was thinking of telling people in the beginning, if there's anything you're uncomfortable answering, just leave it. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Okay.
Because that gets into a subject that somebody might not be comfortable with talking about. I'm an open book, so I'm cool. But not everybody is. So somewhere in the intro or somewhere in parentheses, if there's, or even like at the question itself, any questions at itself where you feel somebody might be uncomfortable, maybe put on the bottom, if you're not comfortable, do not answer at the actual question instead of like a top or bottom.
Yeah. Or then I could also phrase it like, if don't answer. If you're not comfortable, don't answer. Or if you would feel more comfortable discussing this with me in person, you know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. So they feel that there's I don't want them to feel like they're odd or strange because they don't want to answer a question that I apparently think is okay to ask. So I want them to know that, you might want to answer it, but you might want to feel like you're in a safer, more private space to do that. And that can be offered as well.
Or you can even say somewhere in the intro in the top saying the same thing. If you're not comfortable, don't answer. But even at the question itself, say the same thing. That way, as they're going along at the top, they feel comfortable. At the question, they feel comfortable. And then
Okay, fantastic. Yes, thank you. Okay.
So, and then of course, a thank you, and here's your next steps at the end of the at the questionnaire.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
The other thing too is I got a little bit jumbled up when I got the email. I opened up the email, and I realized that I actually had to. What I actually had to do was send it to a Google Doc to be able to fill it out.
Really?
So, yeah. And that was the only way I was able to fill it out. Now, I'm not technologically savvy. I'm sure there's a better way to do it, or a different way to do it. My first gut reaction was, I have to print this out.
Okay, that's really important to know, because it was giving me the the possibility to X the boxes just in normal Word. So I was thinking it would just open up for everybody like that. But they weren't clickable for you, just when you... Not
at first. So at the top of the email, after I clicked on it, it says transfer to Google Doc. Okay. And I had to press that button, and now the doc is in Google Doc. So that actually might trip some people up because now it's on the cloud, right? And now it's on the cloud. When it's in the cloud, that means it's accessible.
Of course, yeah. Unlikely, but absolutely.
But you understand what I'm saying. So
very important.
So we have to find a way to where when you send it to them in an email, that you could just exit right there, or give some kind of instruction of how to be able to do it. Because if somebody feels like they have to print it out, they're going to shut it off. They're going to shut it down, because now they have to pull the printer out. They have to, do all these extra steps to be able to print it out. And now they have to fill it out by hand. And now they have to rescan it. And, it just seems like a big mess.
It is. Okay, thank you. That's fantastic feedback. I might actually try with a couple of friends sending it to see what it's going to ask them for. If it's going to ask everybody, to be a Google Doc and stuff like that. Okay.
Ultimately, you want to be able for it to show up, and then they could fill it out right there.
Yes, exactly, and save it. Yeah.
Now, I know there's a way to do it, but unfortunately, I I don't know how.
It's okay.
So
I'll figure it.
All right. So those changes, I think, would be the changes I would make, and now send it out to your friends or family or whatever, to be able to get their feedback on it. I mean, a lot of that I could be wrong. I don't know. These are just my feelings on it. So
no, all of them are 100% amazing comments. So thank you.
All right. So I'm really excited about the modeling agency.
Me too. God.
That is fantastic, where it just came out of and a lot of times just that one idea that comes out of the blue is the thing that actually it really changes a lot of different things in your life. That's just a fleeting thought. Yeah. So being able to capture that thought, and even though you waited a day or two to do it, I'm still glad you actually did it out there. So, but the one thing I would do is the modeling groups that are actually reaching out to you, make sure you research who they actually are.
Yeah. Yes.
So my daughter, when she was younger, there was it was for like television commercials or something like that. And they would go out to malls and tell kids to grab them up and say, hey, say this real quick. Oh, that's great. Why don't you go to this audition? So my daughter actually did that, and she went to the audition and she passed the audition, and they had her and me sit down with the person that was in charge and say, okay, we're going to do this for you, but it's going to cost you $2,300.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah.
So obviously at that particular point, I didn't have that money, but I felt in my heart, if I had that money, I would do it because I want my daughter to succeed. And this is something she was actually really good at.
Yeah.
But that definitely taught me to, especially when it comes to stuff like this, not be taken advantage of. So make sure these companies that are actually reaching out to you are actual companies. Check out their ratings, Google them, whatever you need to do to make sure they're legitimate.
Yes, for sure. One of them just asked for extra pictures. So that's as far as I've gone with them. They all were reputable. I know that. But one of them actually sent me like the terms and conditions. So I have to go through that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Legitimacy. Okay.
Yes. So just otherwise, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
I really think that might be something, an avenue for you to go down on top of everything else.
I think so too. I mean, I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it's just blowing my mind. And I think it's so interesting. I don't know, maybe you don't find it interesting, but like especially being a single woman now for, I don't know, 1.5 years. I don't want to say that I feel like I'm competing with 25-year-olds because no, I'm not. But I was like, I was just really proud of myself for thinking of doing the 50 plus model thing. Like instead of thinking, the ship has sailed on any kind of modeling career, not that I ever thought of a modeling career, like I just never. But, I was like, I might not have been able to be a model when I was 25, 35, but God damn, I can be a model at 50,
Oh yeah.
Like that just, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not finding my words today. We recorded today and I couldn't find my words for the episode either. I'm sure I found something, but I like the way I reframed it. And I thought, this I can do. It's crazy. So I will happily keep you up to date with whatever happens with that.
Yeah, you are actually in a niche. It's a niche. Yep. It's a specific niche. So don't feel like that you're competing with these other people, because really, technically, you're not.
Exactly.
You're not. And it's good enough to where people are actually reaching out to you. So, you've got to be doing something right.
Exactly. And I just, when I was going through their portals and all that stuff, they had, people, 80-year-old models. I mean, somebody has to model for menopause. Somebody has to model for, I don't know. As I said, I can't find my words, but, I've often thought of like a lot of bit actors, like these older people, the grandpa, the this, the that, like, where did they get this like idea to just become an actor at 75 or 80? Like, it's brilliant.
The same way you did.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess so. Crazy stuff. So thank you.
You actually might want to start reaching out to people that are doing what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. I don't know anybody, but maybe if I thought about it, I would think of something.
Google knows.
Yeah. Google
Go
does
to,
know.
you know what? Go to IMBD
Oh, yeah.
and
Huh.
just say, I find actors that are
Right.
in in
Not
that age
senior.
bracket, or
Yeah.
these modeling industry. When you start getting a little bit more into the modeling industries and you start making modeling friends, talk to them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
for sure. For sure.
there might even be a Facebook group.
Yeah. The sky's the limit. Like I've only just tapped the surface,
So, I
for
mean,
sure.
if you really want to get into this, I would start trying to be with people or getting to know people that are doing what you're trying to accomplish and learn
Mhm.
from them.
Yes. That is so important for everything. And I don't think you can, no, you can, but I am so committed to surrounding myself with people who inspire me in any part, whether it's podcasting, whether it's coaching, whether it's modeling, whether it's whatever. Like I don't want to waste any time on, what's it called? Small talk, the weather. I'm done. I've been talking about that for 50 years. I've talked about my kid. I've talked about other people's kids. I don't want to talk about my kid anymore. I want to talk. I want to learn. My coaching client actually said it best. He said, I want to be around people who are quote unquote better than me, because that's how I'm going to become better. You know what I mean? Not in a self-deprecating way, but people that I can learn from, people whose brains I can, tap into and learn from. In fact, sorry, go ahead.
It's really the shortcut of how to learn things that you've never done before.
Exactly. Yeah, the human experience, the good and the bad, avoid this, don't do that. Absolutely. Makes so much sense. I'm just writing it down.
Yeah.
One of the women who I was telling you reached out to me after one of my posts, who listened to our episode together on yours. She was like, Deb, I'm so excited to hear this, and let's chat. So we actually set up a call yesterday, and we had an amazing chat. And she's a yoga teacher. She's doing quite well here in Greece. And I just thought it'd be like a catch up. But she also started a podcast, so she was sort of picking my brain for podcasting stuff, because I've just been doing it a little bit longer than her. But then she has and is successfully marketing her yoga programs, her courses, her lessons, and all that. So I was able to pick her brain on that, which for me would be coaching. So it was just this beautiful exchange of two entrepreneurs sort of helping each other, supporting each other, sharing knowledge. It was really, really so meaningful. I thought it was just going to be like a chat over coffee,
Yeah.
but it ended up being a lot more than that.
It actually happens a lot. It actually happens a lot more than you think. Especially as somebody that's doing something within your own niche, or a niche that you were in at one point, where you find a common ground. I mean, you're both yoga instructors at one point. She's just taken it to a different level. You do win a different way, but you're both podcasters. You both coach in your own ways. I mean, a yoga instructor is going to have some sort of like coaching that she's going to have to do.
Oh God. I mean,
right?
And she said to me, Deb, it's all yoga. It's all coaching, everything. It's all everything. It's just, a different specialization, let's say, but we're pretty much in the same business.
There you go. That would actually be a good person to follow up with, probably even for your own coaching, just to offer exchanges for your information and her information, just in general.
Exactly. Absolutely. She already sent me, she did a course on, what was it called? Another word for moral. Anyway, moral marketing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she sent it to me. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. So I was thinking of like reciprocating with maybe something she might be interested in from me.
Send her the questionnaire.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. Wow, you're smart.
If she's going to send you something that she wants you to look over and see if it's something that, that you want, like I did for you, Why wouldn't you
Mhm.
send her the questionnaire?
Absolutely. Sorry, ethical marketing, is that what it is?
That sounds good. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, just because it came to me. Okay.
Always comes to you when you're not thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember that episode where I yelled at Wolverine because it
Yes.
came? Oh my God. Ethical marketing. Okay, yes, perfect. Thank you.
All right. And the one thing I always keep in mind too is I am the combination of the 5 people I hang around most.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you hang around people that are drab, that aren't going anywhere in life, that really kind of floating, that's how
Mhm.
you're going to be. But if you surround yourself with people that are doing something similar to you,
Mhm.
that are encouraging you, that
Mhm.
are smarter than you, those are the people that's going to bring you up.
Yeah. Does this at most time with? Yeah, I've heard that before, but I'm glad you said it again because I had kind of forgotten about that. But you're absolutely right. Yeah,
And
you are really good.
that's what I think
Yeah.
of a lot when we were talking about mentors and people that we surround ourselves with. So that always comes
Mhm.
up in my head. Next thing I want to really kind of go over with, I'm proud of you for firing your Indian friend.
Thank you. I am too. Thank you.
Don't don't be afraid to fire a client.
Yeah. Yeah.
As
No.
especially as we're getting started, we want as many clients as we can because we want to get our name out there. So we'll take on anybody and everybody possible, no matter what the situation is, and
Yeah.
that can actually lead to a serious mistake or problem.
Absolutely.
Because what happened when we hung on to the Indian guy, he started taking advantage of us. Basically, he started asking you questions at oddball times and things like that, and you weren't really getting anything. There was no reciprocation happening at all.
No, zero boundaries, zero appreciation. No, no, it was horrible. It was horrible.
So
Yeah.
when we come across clients like that, we got to do. I'm saying this for anybody that's listening to this, not just you, but if we come across anybody that's like that to us, we need to not be afraid. There's that word again, to be able
Yeah.
to fire a client.
Yeah. Yes. No, I know. I get it.
And it's going to happen, especially in our business and what we do. We are going to have clients that are going to be like that. So, don't hang on to them longer than you feel you have to. Because once you start getting through those boundaries and they're not kind of keeping to their word, they're getting kind of wishy-washy about
Yeah.
scheduling and things like that. You don't want to have people like that under your belt.
I know. Yeah. I get it. Keep going, but just I'll get back to that with my current client. I'll tell you about that, but keep going with your questions.
Okay. Well, I was actually going to move on to something else real quick. That was just a point that I really wanted to make for you. It's not just for this client, but for any other client that might be pushing those boundaries on you.
Yeah. Okay. Just writing it down.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay. Did you want to touch on something? Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So my client now, I think I told you, we grew up in the same area. He was a friend of my brother's. I was a friend of his sister's. So I wasn't really much in contact with him much. Anyway, he was in the States for a long time, moved back to Canada, found me on Facebook. We started chatting. And I understood immediately that he was attracted to me and loved talking to me because we're both, quite sort of well read on, philosophies. I know that I feel like he felt like, oh my God, I have found like not only a person who understands me and is so compassionate and I can talk to about all these things that interest me, but she's also pretty. And, I think I just was like this angel that dropped into his lap sort of thing. Sorry, but I don't mean that in a stuck-up way. It doesn't happen to me very often.
No.
It's just, this is how I see it. So I was starting to ignore. He was texting me a lot, kind of like the guy from India, and I was starting to answer his texts whenever I wanted to, whenever I had time. I could tell that he was becoming very needy, and I don't like that neediness. And anyway, he finally said to me, you know what, my therapist is on vacation for a month or something like that. I'll do coaching with you for a month. Oh yeah. Anyway, I told you this, and I told you that I was charged. I said, okay, if you commit to 4 sessions, the charge is $60. Sorry, it's just my cats. $60 per session, $240. That's the commitment. Absolutely, Deb, no problem for sure. So we did our first session. We've done 4 sessions now, but anyway, we did the first session. I sent him my bank details, and he sends me $500. Did I tell you that?
No.
Owes me 60 because I didn't ask him for an upfront payment of 240. I asked him to just commit to the 240, and he sends me 500, and I was actually really pissed off. I was pissed off because I was like, that's not respecting my boundaries. What are you trying to impress me? Are you mixing our professional relationship with it? What are you trying to do? So I did actually text him. I'm like, thank you very much, but what does this mean? I need to know exactly what $500 means to you. Does it mean 10 sessions? What does it mean? And he replied a whole bunch of stuff, but essentially he's like, look, we spent, the first session was supposed to be an hour, $60. We were on for 3 hours. And then the second session was supposed to be 2. And I said, to be honest, the 3-hour thing, that's on me. Like, that's my inability to keep the time and respect my own, boundary. That's my thing. Anyway, so he was like, you know what, Deb, the math will work out. My understanding of that was, we've done 4 sessions, but we've probably spoken for about 9 hours. So the $500 is probably pretty much being used up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so based on his logic.
In his mind, each hour was $60, it sounds like, or something close to that.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so anyway, this is a little bit of a long story, but we've done 4 absolutely amazing sessions. And I think they've been, they have been good for him too, absolutely. And he's been texting me in the meantime, but I probably have given, I think that, again, the $500 tripped me up. And he thought he was doing me a favor or impressing me, and it actually really threw me. Because I was like, what does this mean? Sorry, I've been very sweary today. Does this mean that I owe him time in between our sessions? Like, what does this mean? So it's a huge lesson in boundaries. So then at the end of our last session, I gave him some, let's say, homework, some things to ruminate on and stuff like that. And he texts me afterwards and he goes, you know what, I'm going to give you some homework too. And I said, I'm not sure I understand. And he said, no, I just want you to, there's this book that has really helped me. I would love you to read it. And, I want you to listen to this song. And no, I said to him, he doesn't understand. Well, what I said to him, and I can show you the text, I said, I'm grateful for any sort of recommendations you have, anything. Absolutely. I respect you and your, path. So absolutely. But what has to be 100% clear here is that this relationship is that I am coaching you. Mm-hmm. You are accountable to me. I am not accountable to you. Because I feel like what he's trying to do is what I feel like he's ultimately trying to do is turn this into a relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a romantic relationship. So that I don't know if he's doing this consciously, so that he won't ultimately have to pay for it. That I'm just going to be so blown away by what I'm getting from him that it's like, how can I charge this guy? I'm benefiting. And that's also pissing me off.
Right.
And then yesterday, or a few days ago, he said, I don't think I can speak this weekend. I don't think I can come to our session this weekend. And he wrote something like, I need to do some really important things. And that's why I have to leave our session, something like that. And I said, that's absolutely fine. And, it's certainly not a monetary thing or anything, but all I want you to think about is those really important things that you have to do. I want you to write them down, and I want you to what's it called? Oh, hot flash. I want you to really think about if they were worth putting your self-care on the back burner, because this session is for you. It's not a favor to me. It's not for me. I do my own coaching with my own coach, and I have a psychologist, and I have a this, and I have a that. This is for you. So I just want to be really clear that you're not putting yourself last. So anyway, and he came back, and because what I think I said in the wording was, I want to make sure that, I want to make sure, I would like us to look at together at the possibility that maybe you were prioritizing everything else over the support that you need. And he replies to me, what do you mean by support? Our sessions? And I don't know how to explain this to you, but I said, our sessions are the bane of this work. What I felt like he was saying was, I have your support anyway. We text every day. You know, why now? Why do we need to formalize it by having a session? You kind of had to read it to get it. And anyway, then I started recording. We recorded with All Hallows Eve yesterday.
Right.
So I was recording, did two like back to back. So I was recording for like 5 hours. And so I haven't gotten back to him, but I actually prayed to God today. I was like, please give me the clarity and the maturity and the professionalism and I know I will handle this the way it needs to be handled. I need him to tell me exactly what the $500 meant. And because I don't know now. Now I don't know. Have I earned it? Do I owe him another 10 sessions? I don't have a clue. And so I need to understand what the $500 meant, when it's up. And we need to clarify our working relationship from now on. Okay, you can't. And now he's starting to talk to me about financial problems, and I don't have money and this and that. So I just want to say yes. So the $500 was 100% to impress me. That's all it is, Jesse. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like he's. I don't mean to presume anything or just guess or assume anything, but it sounds like to me that he's not keeping the boundaries that you're setting for him.
Absolutely, exactly.
So unless he's willing to accept your boundaries, then he is not. And I get he's your first client, and it's very important, and it's nice of him to send you that money, but it sounds like he sent you that money even though he couldn't afford it.
Exactly.
And why would you do that unless it was to impress?
That's exactly what happened.
So what I would sit down with him one more time, or text him, or however you want to communicate with him in a solid manner.
Yeah.
And say, this is my boundaries. I only want to talk to you at this time. If you don't want to do that, then we're going to have to break this relationship off. And if I hate to say this, but if I have to refund you that $500, then so be it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of tough to give away that kind of money. That's pretty big money for us right now.
It is. It's Canadian, of course.
Well, but still, I mean,
350 American is.
That would be a lot for me. I could tell you that. You know what I can do at $350 right now?
Of course.
But
even 240 I was happy with, which is like $180, you know? Yeah.
But I mean, being that what it is, our boundaries are more important than money.
I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. Yeah.
If he's not willing, I mean, if you have to do, like, I have a contract that we agreed to each other. If you need to do something like that with him, then that's the way it is. And if he breaks the contract, then he breaks the relationship, the professional relationship, because that's just really what it needs to be. It's a professional relationship.
That's it, exactly. And to be honest, he's thrown a few romantic things my way, and I've said to him clearly, I am not interested in a romantic relationship. Like, I don't know how much clearer I can be. So it's also like, it's kind of like disrespect too. It's like no means no,
Professionally.
Yeah.
because that actually in the prosperous coach actually goes into that too.
Really? Yeah.
And it goes into making sure that the relationships, I mean, we're not here to be friends. We're not here to be in a type of relationship. We're here in a professional level to be professional.
Yeah.
And if you can't meet those standards and if you can't meet those boundaries, then
Mm-hmm.
then we have to go apart our ways.
Exactly. And if nothing else, I mean, I'm very good at managing my emotions, much better than I was now. So I haven't lost sleep over this issue, but it's taxing mentally, which is the last thing I need right now.
Yeah.
I want clear boundaries with everybody. I don't want to have to be thinking now, what did he mean by that? And what does that mean now? No. I've lost enough mental power to so many things in my life.
If you're guessing and it's really leaving you kind of in a quandary, then it's not healthy.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I know I will figure that out.
Thank you for sharing that with me, by the way.
Okay, well, why? Why wouldn't I?
Just because that's a rough thing to be going through, especially starting out like this at being our first client. You know, so I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, thank you for thanking me. Well, you and I, something that's great is that we really are both open books, and I just, something else which is a really important lesson, and I'm sure it is for you too, that just because we're coaches doesn't mean, in fact, the opposite is true. The worst thing we could do would be to stifle ourselves by believing that we have all the answers. Like, I could easily come and say, Jesse, I've got this issue, but I figured it out because I'm a coach. That's what I do. Like, oh, I must be a pretty coach if I can. No, because you might say one thing or 10 things or nothing that might help me, because we're not like fait accompli. Do you know what that means? It's like, we're not done. We are always going to be learning. And I would just never want to think that I don't need anybody else's opinion or feedback, or even if I disagree with you, you might say something that all I want to do is expand my brain. So that's my point, is that's why I share everything with you, because I would never miss the opportunity to speak to an intelligent person about something that's been weighing on my mind, right?
Well, I'm going to take the intelligent person as a compliment. Thank you very much.
It is.
Okay.
It is. Good. You took it and didn't, weren't self-deprecating. Yeah.
But you'd be surprised how many coaches actually have coaches. I mean, you really need to understand that if you're going to believe in coaching, you have to believe in your own coaching.
Exactly.
So, and the only way you're going to properly really get the coaching that you need is to be honest, not just with yourself, but with the person that's coaching you, so we can help you along those things and have those different ideas and perspectives that come along with coaching.
Absolutely. Yes.
So, yeah.
So, that's something I wanted to share with you. So I'm glad I did. I'm just writing it down.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions about anything before I move on to my next subject?
What are all the things I shared with you? The photo shoot. Yeah. The weekly post you agree with, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Yeah, that was actually my next thing I wanted to go over with you, is the weekly posting.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're posting to begin with. I mean, that's a great start. And I really think that with your time schedules you have going on, weekly posting is good enough for now.
Oh, yes. Yes, I think so too.
You might want to look into some automations to help you with posting.
You've mentioned that. Yeah, you've mentioned that. Yes.
Because a lot of the postings I'm doing now that you actually even see is automated.
Yeah. You have an app, I think, for that.
Yeah, Pinnacle AI is what it's called.
I think you've told Pinnacle AI.
Yeah. And
sorry. Do you mind if I take this as my daughter? And I've
No,
got
go.
her
Yeah. Go.
so
Let me
okay.
just go ahead and. So I would actually, once you get to that point where you think you can afford an automation, I would probably start dipping into that a little bit. That way you could actually get a little more constant. Weekly is fine. I try to
Mhm,
do at least the daily
mhm,
of my actual doing the posting, aside from
mhm.
my automations that happening. I don't know. I just feel better about it that way. But mostly it's for my podcast. I'm still
Yeah,
kind of like I still haven't figured out how to do coaching posting. I guess you could say
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's quite different than doing my podcasting posting. So it's still something I'm still kind of concentrating on.
Yeah.
The one place I am doing a lot of my coaching is in a community that I just entered into
Oh,
called NumoSpec,
oh.
and
Okay. Yeah.
it's a creator lab community. And so it's a basically a community of creators. So not just podcasters, but like artists, music artists, all kinds of different types of creators.
Okay.
And it's I'm actually the director of sales for that company right now.
Oh, that's where I've heard it before. Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
And so I'm in it for free, but
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm part of the company. But
yeah.
I mean, it's very inexpensive compared to a lot of communities that I've seen, and they actually pay you for content.
Wow. God.
So they it's $80 a month, but they give half of that back to you as long as you give them an hour's worth of content.
What would be an hour's worth of content from me, for instance?
So what I do for my hour, it might be different for you, but what I do for my hour is I have a camera that goes on behind the scenes of my
Oh,
podcasting.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like
Okay.
what I do is when I do my interviews, I have a camera behind this camera, and before I actually hit record on the front camera, I hit record on
Mhm,
the back camera and actually talk about myself and what's going on in my life for 2 or 3 minutes. And then
mhm,
my guest comes on and I talk to them for about 5 minutes before actually hitting record. Then I
mhm,
record the session. And then when I turn this camera off, I keep
mhm.
that one going and I talk to them for a few minutes more to see if there's any more content that I can use or information or anything about them. So, and I take those recordings and I'm going to be posting those on as extra content, and that's going to
Huh.
qualify for my hour. So, there's other ways to do it too. That's just the easiest way for me because I'm already doing the content anyway, and I'm just
Yeah,
repurposing it.
yeah. I'm trying to because I wouldn't want to, I don't think I wouldn't want to do that for our podcast, at least not right now. I don't think Chris would be into that for the moment. I'm trying to think what I could do as a coach for extra content. But okay, I'll just have that in mind.
Yeah. So, I
Yeah.
mean, if you want to join that community, you're more than welcome to. Just use my affiliate link to go in, and you get 14 days for free to kind of figure things out and see if you like it,
Yeah.
and then you go from there. So,
So sorry, just 1 second. I know you didn't mention this for me to ask questions about it, but apart from okay, I pay $80. I get $40 back when I provide an hour's worth of content regarding coaching. But then what's the benefit? Like somebody might like promotion. Um,
they actually
yeah.
promote you in their community. They will they actually have something called a creator mall, which you can actually post up, hey, I do coaching. So it's a
Mm,
place for people to actually go to in the community to find you for a coach, as a life
okay.
coach. Um,
Okay.
I have mine in there as a entrepreneur coach.
Mm-hmm.
We have over 100 people in there now.
Mm,
So it's a great place to market yourself. And then you can
yeah.
send people there as for extra content that you can get paid for.
So but those 100 people are service providers.
No, those 100 people are people like us.
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
where are the clients who are going to pay us?
So they actually find the people, the two that are in head of that, Trevor and Bree, have a lot
Mhm.
of outside connections that they use to their advantage to help us find
Mm.
people.
Okay.
So
Okay.
they're connectors, basically, is what they are.
Right. When I have a minute, I'm going to look into that.
Sure.
I'm going to Google that. Yeah, thank you. Okay.
I'll send you my link. You could take a look at it, mess around in there. If you want to do the 14-day free trial, you can do that.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just, I want,
I know.
okay. I mean, because
No,
I think
was asking questions.
at this point, being a part of a community is really going to benefit you.
That's it. Exactly.
So,
yeah, I mean, remember another thing that I did that I haven't done yet is I went on to that app about becoming a guest on podcasts.
Yeah.
And I haven't recorded, but remember, this podcast immediately found me. So
Mhm.
I absolutely believe in networks and stuff like that. That's why I was the one asking questions. You weren't pitching. All
I know.
right.
I'm trying to steer away from being, salesy. So that's all.
No, that was fine. Absolutely fine. Okay. What else?
Okay. You have any questions about that at all?
No, I think I need to dig in, and if something comes up, I'll let you know.
Okay. The one of the last things I want to touch on here is the amazing ability to find old friends in a new era and in a new time.
Yeah.
I mean, these are people that haven't reached out to you for 20, 30 years, and all of a sudden, here they are coming out of the woodworks to find you.
Yes, in the most genuine, heartfelt way. It's beautiful.
It really is. It really is. I'm actually starting to come across old high school friends that I haven't talked to in years. And I guess our 30-year graduation anniversary is coming up here, and I'm hoping I can go to it. I don't know, but even then, it's just amazing to see the changes that we've gone through, the people that we haven't had any touch with in such a long time reach out to us in a new way.
Absolutely, it's really moving. It's also very interesting. I'm not sure if this has been your experience, but one of the women who she was the third one, not the two who listened to the episode, as far as I know anyway. She asked me a question about her daughter's coming to Greece and maybe I could give her some advice. I was like, absolutely, no problem. She's like, oh God, Deb, you are still the sweetest person. But you remember, I always felt I was depressed. I felt like a fraud when I was her friend or at that age. I was always like, nobody likes me. I'm an asshole. I always felt guilty for something. And I was like, people thought of me as a sweet person. It blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like 50 or 40 years later. My point is that it's so interesting to see yourself through other people's eyes. Like, we don't want to base our opinions of ourselves on what other people see, like in a validation kind of way. But it's like, God, I had such a misperception of who I was. I mean, not just because one person said it. Anyway, so yes, it's very, very interesting and moving.
It's hard to see the label from inside the bottle.
Yeah.
Is really what that's about. I mean, you are sitting here looking out in our lives. So the only perception you have of that is what you see in yourself. Sometimes that's not a positive thing.
Yeah.
So hearing people from the outside looking in helps us understand who we are as a person from that perspective.
Absolutely.
So don't be afraid to even ask, hey, what is my superpower? Hey, what do you think?
Yes.
What are the qualities that you like in me that I can use, or anything like that? Get that outside perspective from other people, and use it, because these things that they see are your superpowers. These are the things that make you who you really are.
Yeah.
Even though inside our heads, we hear these negative things about us because that's our self-perception. That's the imposter syndrome that we talked about earlier.
Exactly.
We don't know until somebody actually says, hey, you're this, and I really like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then that changes what we think about ourselves. If they think I'm like this, why am I not being this to myself?
Exactly. And the flip side is that when they're saying something negative about you, you've also got to look at that and see what's going on there,
It's harder to see it because it's a negative thing, but that's the gosh honest truth.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because what their perception of you is their perception, and it's not just their perception, but it could be other people's perception of you as well.
And it's often something you're aware of, but you just don't want to accept it.
Oh, very much. Yes.
Yeah. So
That's one thing I've learned about myself over the last 2 or 3 years, actually, about myself and the kind of negative things that I was doing on the outside that I didn't realize I was doing. But once I started doing this, like the podcasting and the coaching and things like that, I'm a whole different person. You wouldn't recognize me 2.5, 3 years ago. I'm a whole different person from that.
I believe it. I absolutely believe it.
So,
amazing. Congratulations.
oh, shucks. Thanks. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So I know you probably need to get to your daughter, and I'm pretty much done here at this point. I want you to tell me 3 takeaways from our conversation today.
Oh.
Yes, you can use your notes.
Your feedback on my questionnaire was spot on. So I really, really, really appreciated that. Your encouragement about the modeling. Because you see, I think that there are a lot of coaches out there who would say, no, you need to focus, you're a coach, don't spread yourself too thin, you need to laser focus. So I really do appreciate that you are not limiting me. You believe in my sort of intuition enough to know that I'm running with this for some kind of reason, and also that I'm not flitting from one thing to the other. Like, I'm still doing the podcast, I'm still doing the coaching. If the modeling comes up, I'll see. If it's something that I can make a few extra bucks at here and there, that's fantastic. If it's something that's going to pay me crap and take time away from my child and my coaching, then no, I'm probably not interested. But you respect it. You respect my intelligence and judgment enough to encourage me to at least sort of see what it's all about. I feel like I'm blanking out. But anyway, just like, again, the thing about the 5 people you spend the most time with, I think that as I said, I heard it before, but it was good to hear it again, because I do sometimes feel a little bit guilty about not spending as much time with some older friends that I should, but I'm so adamant about being with people who inspire me and who I can learn from or something. So that was just a really good reminder, I guess.
Good.
Okay.
Because sometimes, even for me, sometimes I have to hear things 2 or 3 times before it actually sinks into my psyche so I could actually follow it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. For sure.
And
all right.
The quick thing here too is I really feel going with your gut about where you're going, especially this early in the game, is a good thing.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of encourage you to go with your gut on the modeling, because it's trying to tell you something.
I think so too. Exactly.
We don't know what, but it's trying to tell you something. So I really think going with your gut on that. Just don't make sure you set your boundaries, like you said. Don't spread yourself too thin. If you think you can handle it, great. If you don't think you can handle it or something like that, put the idea in a shoebox and come back to it later.
Yeah.
Because I got a pile of shoebox ideas right now. That's just
Oh, I know.
I'm just waiting for the extra time to be able to accomplish it. So
yeah. I don't feel like we set goals, but it's probably my fault because I have to get going. But maybe I can come up with my own tangible goals,
I think you have come up with goals already.
What the hell did I do? Well, I'm gonna do the questionnaire, get more feedback, and when I'm happy with it, post that it's available for anybody who wants to fill it out. okay, do whatever I have to do about modeling. It's weird
Mm-hmm.
even just saying that. I have to absolutely clarify my relationship with my client. I have to keep up with my weekly postings. And yeah, the automation, I'm not even gonna think about it right now. It's not for now. And you did get me thinking about finding some more networks, either the one that you are affiliated with or in general.
Yeah. See, I told you set goals for yourself already. You just didn't know it.
Fine.
Gee, sorry. Okay. So, all right. Thank you so much, Deb. It's been a pleasure. And we'll go ahead.
Thank you for listening to the coaching edition of The Undiscovered Entrepreneur, brought to you by Doing It Today Coaching. If you want to get across the start line, contact me, DJ Scoob, at doingittodaycoaching@gmail.com. Say the words "Do It Now" for a free 2-hour discovery call to see how I can help you in your entrepreneur adventure. Art and graphics by Elaine Wilson, supported by my Patreons, Brian Briggs of Ocean Tree Creative and Oliver Siegel of Anal, and hosted by me, DJ Scoob. Click the show notes below for more information. And remember, I can, I am, I will, and I'm doing it today. As a worker of 2 full-time jobs, running a podcast and coaching, every minute counts in my day-to-day. It's hard to be consistent in any of my social medias. And at this point, I cannot hire a social media manager. Pinnacle AI to the rescue! I've been using Pinnacle AI for a couple of weeks now and seeing big improvements in my outreach and consistency in all my social medias. Do you want to save time and increase your productivity too? Go to tuepodcast.net/AI for more information. Save yourself time and grow your brand. Try it now and see what it can do for you. Hello, Scoob Believers. Let me ask you a real quick question. How many cups of coffee have you had today? 3, 5, 7? And let me guess, you've got a Red Bull in the other hand just in case, right? Yeah, I see you. Now here's the truth bomb nobody wants to hear. You're not building a business. You're building a caffeine dependency. Listen, I get it. When you're grinding 12, 14, 16-hour days, you're building something from nothing. When you've got payroll to meet, investors to impress, and visions that won't wait. You need fuel. But what if I told you that the fuel that you're using is actually slowing you down? What if the very thing that you think is keeping you sharp is actually making you dull? Enter Rise Coffee. This isn't your grandma's mushroom tea. This isn't some hippie wellness trend. This is science meets performance. And here's what makes Rise different. Less than half the caffeine of a regular cup of coffee. But here's the kicker. You won't miss it. 6 organic powerhouse mushrooms, including cordyceps, what Olympic athletes use, and lion's mane, what Silicon Valley biohackers swear by. Sustained energy that doesn't spike and crash. We're talking smooth, clean power from morning to moonlight. Crystal clear focus without the jitters. Imagine closing the deal with calm, confident mind instead of the caffeine chaos. Gut health and immune support, because what's the point of building an empire if you're too sick to enjoy it? So here's the challenge to you. Stop borrowing energy from tomorrow. Stop running on fumes and call it a hustle. Stop wearing your caffeine addiction like a badge of honor. Real entrepreneurs optimize, real entrepreneurs adapt, real entrepreneurs win. You can't win if you're crashing at 2 p.m. while your competition is just getting started. Break the cycle. Head to risesuperfoods.com right now and use code PODNA15 for 50% off your first order. That's PODNA15 for 15% off. Try it for 30 days. If you don't feel the difference, if you don't feel sharper, calmer, more focused, more alive, then go back to your 6-a-day cup habit. But I'm telling you, you won't, because once you feel what real energy feels like, you'll never go back. Ditch the addiction, fuel your empire, and rise up. Rise Coffee, energy that builds, not burns.